Center.
Africa Update with Lulu Gaboo.
South Africa's Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Training, Yusuf Cassim, addressed the media in Pretoria on administration issues at the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, NSFAS, and what he says are afrophobic attacks against him. Cassim was appointed earlier this month after being appointed by President Cyril Ramaphosa. And to speak to us further on this, we are joined on the line by the Deputy Minister himself. DP, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Good afternoon, Lulu, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Now, looking at the crucial role that NSFAS plays in the country and just the many challenges that are plaguing the institution, what are the immediate solutions that have been brought to the fore?
Lulu, we have to distinguish between what are the policy issues that will require policy review during the annual NSFAS policy review process, as well as the legislative issues that require legislative review, and those operational issues that NSFAS should be seized with more urgently. These were predominantly the topics that were the subject of discussion between myself and the NSFAS administrator 2 days ago when I visited the NSFAS offices in Cape Town and met with the leadership team. And these included those students, over 10,000 of them, who were under gap investigation and had their funding suspended. It also included UNISA students that are awaiting confirmation of their funding for second semester, the so-called top-up students, and the payment schedule of NSFAS to institutions, which has been seen as the reason why the personal care allowances, amongst other allowances, have been delayed in their payment. And there were a number of other issues, some of which has already been resolved, such as the CUT students who had not yet received the accommodation allowance for unaccredited residences. And yesterday I received confirmation that there was a team at CUT to attend to the matter and to begin to start resolving it. So there are a number of operational issues that require immediate attention, and that was the subject of my engagement with the NSFAS administrator. Of course, this and many other issues had found its way to me through the Deputy Minister's Help Desk, which is a initiative that was started by my predecessor, Dr. Mimi Gondwe.
Now, you say there are afrophobic attacks against yourself. Take us through that and what you have experienced so far, and whether these issues have also been resolved.
I don't believe I've characterized the attacks as afrophobic. There have been certainly xenophobic in questioning my nationality, which I found really, really bizarre given my own family's history, going back generations as South Africans in South Africa, but also Islamophobic attacks on my faith. And these were questions that were put to me at the press club this morning, where I spoke candidly about my own history, the history of my parents, where we grew up, where they grew up, and their contributions made to the liberation struggle and to the nation-building project by South Africans of all backgrounds. I think at the root of all of this was really to try and deliver a singular message that says that there's a trend of, and it's not just a South African trend, it's an international trend, where there are political parties and politicians and orators that have sought to, in a very populist manner, divide South Africans or divide people across the world based on our faiths, based on our backgrounds and ethnicities. And the message that I had to share with the press club was that we have a responsibility as South Africans to resist those who would seek to divide us, and to understand that the reason why they are dividing us is not because they care about the specific groups of South Africans that they claim to fight for and care for, but they politically profit off those divisions. It's divide and rule. And I see it as my responsibility and the responsibility of those that seek to unite South Africans to rather take the more difficult route up the mountain of unity rather than sinking into the pit of division.
Now, the issue of migration in South Africa has become a hot topic in the last few weeks. How has this impacted institutions of higher learning?
I think it has impacted institutions across the different sectors within our society. Within institutions of higher learning, you will have students who are international students who also bring with them economic benefits into the country, just as we have South Africans who study abroad. We also have academics that are making a contribution into the academic research discipline within our country. And I believe that the increased levels of discourse around immigration has had an impact. It is important to acknowledge that the issues that have been raised around illegal immigration are valid, that if any individual is not legally in the country, either as a student or as a lecturer or academic, or for any other purposes do not have the requisite permits, visas, and documentations, that is absolutely a valid issue. And I'm very appreciative of the work that is being done by Dr. Leon Schreiber as the Minister of Home Affairs, who I believe has done more than any previous Minister of Home Affairs to try and fix the glaring problems that exist within Home Affairs. He's only been a minister for 2 years, and he's done more than previous ministers combined. And it is important for government to restore trust with the South African public in the capability of government to deal with these very serious issues, so that we do not have instances where you have collateral damage and unfortunate tragic consequences of vigilantism and other emerging trends and incidences that we have experienced in recent times.
Well, Deputy Minister Cassim, thank you so much for joining us on Africa Update. We'll leave it there for today.
Thank you very much, Lulu, and thank you very much to your listeners.